Hello, Dan from Gameolia here again. How's it going? Back in Neocron. Just a little bit more progressed than last time on my little pistol PE. Private eye. I'm now out at the military base, which is sort of the place you go to where you want to grab a few more levels when you're sort of done with Neocron, the actual city area. So I might actually make another video to show you the progression I've taken. It's probably not the most efficient way. It's like I said, it's been a while since I played this game, and I've sort of had to relearn a couple of things, and that includes the places you got to go. I loosely remember going here, so I don't know how long I stayed here for, but well, there's a lot of other people around my level there too, so you can see them all in green. I'm pretty sure that means they're all in the same range as I am, except for this guy. But yeah, they had recently had a double XP thing, which I took a bit of advantage of, and it was ridiculous how many people were out here. And, I mean, not ridiculous, it was great. Just actually see people out here again, so many people leveling. We actually had a terminal inside here. I don't know if the GMs popped that in here or not, but you could grab missions whereby you could kill these things. That guy I'm looking at right in front of me to launch a Cyclops. You kill 5 of them, you get a bit of extra XP and money and so on. So that was very handy, but that seems to have been taken away. So and the double XP things over now as well. But yeah, really good. And I don't know if it was just that weekend or people were just creating other accounts, but I saw it like the servers were at like 47%, close to 50. I'm not sure what it is at the moment, but there's quite a few people around. So more of that, I say. You know, hopefully it was just individual accounts, but it is possible to create secondary accounts. I don't know how closely they monitor these things, but there may have been people with 2 accounts active at the same time. So the weapon I've got at the moment is... what is it? There you go, a plasma pistol. It's a tech combat pistol. I decided to spec a little bit of tech combat. I remember being a slasher PE back in the old days, which was like a silvery gun which shot out red laser things. And I really enjoyed that weapon, but a long time ago, I don't know if I could even get that weapon anymore. So I'm sure it's around, whether I can, with all the changes they made to the amount of dexterity and so on, and bonus sort of skills you get in your implants itself. I may not be able to spec high enough to get that anymore. I don't know, unless there's a whole thing with the drugs and. There was this thing called the personal injector as well, I saw, and I don't know if that's just a delivery system for the drugs now, before you could just right click and pop them, but, or if it's something new. I mean, there's something else here I've noticed in the armor. You see that in between the helmet and the chest? That right there, the choker. I don't remember that being there before, so that's something new. Since the last time I was in, if you see on the right there, got this thing with little cross, and this thing here, and that. There's just a couple of buffs that I can now place on myself. One's a heal, and this one's a damage boost, increases the damage I do to an enemy. But I've got it's kind of like a buff. I buff them, or more of a debuff, I guess. And it works not just for me, I think it works for other players as well. Don't have to be in a team. And I've got my little spy boost. I think that gives me a bonus to... I don't even know what it gives me a bonus to. It gives me a bonus to something. There probably should be something here which tells me what it gives me a bonus to. I guess I could look at my skills when I do it, but there's something. It helps with agility or something, I don't know. Ah, they're both not showing up. Well, there you go. Something to look into. it was showing up the other day, but... Right, anyway. So yeah, military base. If you're stuck, you're in Neocron, you're going like, oh, where do I go? Where do I go? Well, this is where you go. Navigate and world map. So, I was down here, down south, you see Neocron there. And I worked my way all the way up to here to the military base, which it looks far, and yes, it is far. But it makes it a little bit easier if you work your way up to, say, Tech Haven, which is a major sort of city area, I suppose. It's got a couple, I think it's got a couple implants in there, and some bones, and a couple of other things you can pick up. I don't know if it's unique to them. I'm pretty sure you could get them everywhere, but I just happened to find them there, and some armor sets which worked. Then I sort of crossed over here. Actually, I didn't go anywhere near Jenkins Labs. I went up across and then over to military base. So yeah, what I'll do is I'll probably make another video and show you the way I've leveled, just to give you a guide. I'm sure there's more efficient ways of doing it, but that's what I've done so far. And yes, Dome of York. I'm really interested in seeing what's happened to that place. It used to be a city. It was like Neocron was the, well, not the good guys, but the Neocron was a couple factions were there, and a couple factions were in Dome of York. And now something happened at Dome of York, apparently. They were messing around with something, and something bad happened. So everybody had to flee and come back to Neocron, so we're all under the same city area. But yes, so... oh, and I've got this. Where is it? Where are you, Quad? There it is. Sometimes when you spawn these vehicles, they could be like behind a hill, behind a tree, and you're looking around, going, did it spawn? What happened? So yeah, this is a neat little vehicle to help you get around, and I use this from Tech Haven onwards. I made the run to Tech Haven, but I decided to go and do a mission. It's like a starter mission if you're a driver. If you choose drivers, I think your class or something like that. But it's one of the selections when you're making a new character. And driver gives you this mission, which is related to... actually, I have no idea. But it's got to do with Mr. Jones, and he asks you to do a whole heap of things, and really doesn't take too long. If you wanted to, you could even create another character. Create a second character. When you finish the little quest line, just grab that reward. If you got a friend, even better. I think you could just pass it to him, and he'll just pass it to your other character. Or you can go to your apartment. It's a little bit less secure, I suppose, but you can go to your apartment and drop it on the ground, load up your other character, and it should still be there. If you want to try with just like, oh, here we go, synchronization. Yeah, if you want to try with just you know, a piece of ammo, just make sure it works. I did have one instance where it despawned and I dropped something, but yeah, I mean, it really doesn't take too long to do the quest line. So you can get one of these for each of your characters if you want to. And the great thing about it is that, unlike other vehicles that you can purchase later on, unlike other vehicles, this one, if it explodes, if something attacks it, and it does disappear, you can just go back to the ASG over there, the vehicle place where you spawn vehicles, and another one will just be ready for you to take it away. Unlike some vehicles, if they explode, that's it, they're gone. So you have to get another one, create another one, buy another one. But yeah, that one's a little handy one to have. So that would be the terminal you'd go to if you want to pick up missions for the launcher Cyclops. So it was really quite handy having double XP, and that just in that little bunker there where you saw all the other players before. But yeah, you just sort of scroll through here, you'll find the launcher Cyclops. I'm not going to do them at the moment. I'm just going to go back into the military base. So the City Mercs is a faction which begins here. So actually, I can go there. Let's go there. Let's go there. We got all these guys that look like they're straight out of Quake or something. guarding this place. So CityMerc's HQ here. Now I don't think I've ever been a CityMerc, at least not from the beginning, so not too sure what they get to do. I guess there'd be leveling zones somewhere in here. Yeah, where am I going? Where am I going? Here we go. Here we are. Get some gene rep going. Where was it gonna go? Where was it gonna go? Once you're done with the military base, if you're so interested, there's this place out here, Alpharid, in the desert regions. If you look here on your map, right, so from the military base all the way to the right. And as you go along, if you're going to make the trip, there's stop off at the battle dome. You can grab the GR point there, and I dare say you can get one up here, and possibly on the way another one or two. Utano Mine, I think, has one on the outside, but yeah, there's one right here. But anyway, this place was handy from memory when you go into here. Now, what level you need to be, I can't remember. I do last a little bit down here, hiding on the walls and so on, so I don't know, maybe when you're sort of 50, high 40s, 50, I don't know, something like that. But definitely if you got some pals, come in here, you know, get some, get your healing friends, and the whole team's really good in here. Especially with AoE, and I don't actually have any made at the moment. I play run out of ammo too, but if you see, I'll just see if I can last really quickly. Where are they? Where are you? They're in here. There's one. Okay, so you got little scorpions here, right? But you have clusters of them. There's parts where you have clusters of them. I'm getting poisoned already, but yeah. So I won't go much further in here, but with a team, you can certainly get a bunch of them, pop some AoE spells down, and the XP is brilliant. And the further you can get in there, the better. There is a point where you come to a Scorpion Queen. I think it's called a Scorpion Queen, but it's a large scorpion. Very big. And I think they drop a particular item, a belt or a... no, chest piece maybe. It was something, but I remember it being pretty good, particularly for tanks. Yeah, but sorry, long time ago. But for the XP factor, definitely come down here with a team. How long you can last on your own, I guess it determines what you've got, what type of resist you have. And they're doing a lot of poison there. If you get a whole bunch of them, there's larger ones. That was just the small ones you saw. So. So it's cool how varied the landscape is. I mean, if you look in the military base, you got a lot of tree lines, and then you got the mountains down here, and this is all fairly desert region. Then you got rocky mountains here, and this place, volcano there. I don't know if you can actually see volcano, but I think there's volcanic rock. Yeah, Twilight Guardian's another faction, and they have this area. Fallen Angels, I think it is. Fallen Angels. Let's have a look. Fallen Angels, is that what they're called? Yeah, the Fallen Angels. So they're at Tech Haven. CityMerc's there, and pretty much everybody else is here. So, sorry, I'm a bit scattered today. I'm talking about leveling and zones and places, but it's a bit I don't know, a lot of memories come flooding back when I just sort of go around, walking around. I'm kind of, like, I know I could just ask in trade, but I'm kind of tempted to just sort of wander about and find new things. rediscover new zone, you know, sort of zones. But the whole double XP thing that weekend, really, I think it was, I don't know, quite encouraging for a lot of players to spend a bit more time playing this game again. So I reckon they should have maybe another one. I mean, obviously you don't want people abusing this. And it is nice to sort of take your time to get to know the game, decide what you want to spec into. But one or two of those, you know, here and there is quite a nice reward. There's an Egyptian-looking obelisk. What it's there for, I have no idea. But it's there. It's there. I dare say by the next video I should have my first power armor. Which should be cool. And you won't see my crazy, funky hairstyle head anymore. Some beasts. I like seeing the belts, the random belts around. You know something happened. And they couldn't be bothered coming back for it, so... Oh. Dome of your Guardian. This guy looks like he could be painful. Yep. 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 I don't want any of that, mate. I'm out of here. Arachnid. Oh, 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 oh. Okay, that guy's okay. So yeah, pretty much I think like it's standard to most MMOs. You see something in red, and you see that ranking on the side at the right, the 3838. I'm still not entirely sure what that means. I think it had something to do with your combat rank versus your level or something like that. Oh crap, I'm about to die. I don't think it'll last much longer. Go in here. But yeah, something to look up. Never really paid too much attention to that. I'm gonna get out of this place. Oh, oh! Out of my way, beast! Yeah, so this is the downside to wandering around aimlessly. But you discover things, you know, like this guy did, probably. And went, oh crap, and died. So, But it is handy when you can cast the self-heal, because previously it was just all first aid kits. Just to let you know, I decided to... So I popped a little bit of skill points in the vehicle use, just so I can ride that quad, which I probably should have spawned somewhere. Pistol, high-tech combat, and I have a bit of recycling. And I chose recycling because I don't like to... Oh crap, another guy. I don't really like to keep running back to NPCs and getting ammo, so... Or you go Guardian to pick up some more. I kind of like to be able to just able to do it on the fly. I think 36 points is okay. I don't know what happens when I get a better weapon, where I need to spec much higher. But I'm sure I can afford it. And it's a balancing act here with the skill points. You know, you can't really spec high into everything. You sort of, you know, there's two which you may need to spec in quite high, but you need to balance it. You can't just put them all in all of them. Expect to have a good result. So yeah, I kind of like that. It's quite difficult. Well, not difficult, but it can take a bit of time, and it actually depletes some of your XP that you've gained when you decide to do a respec. So it's kind of like, well, you know, you're making a decision here, so there are consequences to this. It's not just press a button. You can just be a different spec. 5 seconds later. Oh, what happened? I can't see where I'm going. I can't see anything. Uh-oh. I guess it's the way of it telling me to end the video here. Okay, right. Well, thanks for watching, and yeah, like I said, next video I'll probably sort of take you along the path that I've taken up to this point for leveling, and yeah, I might discover a couple of other places. See if I can get out of this fog of war. Fog of mystery. I don't know. Okay, see you later.